Yes, and we're back. Celtic Unrestricted View. Ian Beale is nearly a Rangers manager. And it's still -9 in Glasgow, boys. How we doing? My name's Ryan Clifford. Sean White's on the podcast with us. And JP. Sean, Ian Beale's maybe got Rangers. What do you think, mate?
Be better off Ian Beale. That's all I'm going to say on the subject.
How's things? You good?
Not bad, mate. All good. Missing the Celtic. World Cup's starting to get a bit lively, but it's just not the same, is it?
No, I think it's in it, JP. I think Sean says November. It doesn't feel like a World Cup, does it?
Nah, definitely no. Good evening, lads. It's good to see your wee smiling faces. Obviously, we're smiling now because we're all having to turn our heating on because it's -9 up here now. It's been like that for a wee while. I think this is the most the boiler's been used all year, to be fair. No. Hi, Ian Beale. What a Black Friday sales are well underway, boys. It's a Nickelodeon version of the trading deals, isn't it? So, it's not often I'm lost for words, but I'm struggling here.
Obviously, on your side, Sean, a good bit of news. Obviously, the Japanese boy signed as well. I don't want to say his name. Is it Kobayashi? Is that what it is? Am I right?
No.
That is right.
No.
What's his name?
His name is
Yuki
Kobayashi.
That's it, right? So that's why you're the gaffer.
You need me, didn't you? Because I had to get a answer on this one and all.
Obviously, Sean, obviously, it was a free transfer, mate. So a good bit of business with Ange, and obviously I found a loophole how to get him on a free transfer. So it's not even November yet, Sean, and we've got a signing. So it shows you where we are, mate, in terms of the recruitment that Ange obviously says it's basically done. Well, that's kind of proven so by getting one in dead early.
The fact that some teams hadn't even played their first World Cup game yet and we're announcing players, it's unbelievable. We're so used to the whole, we sell it with transfers, don't hear anything. Last couple of days, just scrambling to sign anybody, it's free. Then the whole, we're trying to get it out of the line and all that. But the difference now, January transfer window, it's not even close yet. We're signing players to come in, so hopefully a couple more before 1st of January, because as they've said, he's ready to go 1st of January, start training and everything, so hopefully.
I think JP Sean says the fact that we have been used to signings at the end of the window, loan signings, panic buys, project signings, you can't see anybody, JP, for what Ange signed and what he's maybe going to sign is guys who are projects, might be projects in terms of ages, maybe 22, 23, 24, but they're guys that are going to come in my opinion, and challenge the guys who are already there. They're not going to be your Biles, your Kamaras, your Chefs to come in and play a bit part and maybe potentially for the future. These are guys that are going to come in and actually make an impact, in my opinion, and challenge guys to get into the squad.
Aye, absolutely. It just shows you how much a proactive manager we've got at the moment, boys. I think a lot of Celtic fans thought he was kidding on. When he said just a couple of weeks ago that his January window was just about done, and he would probably use the World Cup to look at his summer window, and then obviously little do we know, I think the club actually made an arse at yesterday in terms of the way they put up the initial tweet.
It was a template tweet.
Aye, it goes up and then then we take it back down, and then it was a kind of right, there it goes. But another 5-year deal. I mean, they're handing him out like packing maxis now at the Rangers parties. They seem to be getting, seems to be a new sort of freshness with the manager. He likes to give you long-term contracts, which obviously means he must see a lot in the boy as well. And he's obviously found a loophole with this one as well, that he's Kevin a Bosman. As Sean says, he can't play to January, but he is going to be with the team now when they come back after this short break that he's gave them. And I think he's going to Portugal as part of their, supposed to be one with a training camp. But I saw a photo of Portugal yesterday, and even the palm trees had jackets on, so I don't think it's that warm there now. No, but listen, it's only going to bode well for us. And as I say, these boys are coming in, you know, they're going to settle in and they'll be good to go proper. And it's by the time we start back, and obviously then they're going to be good to go as well. Get into next summer as well, they'll be well settled, and you know, it's all continuity as well within the team. And then obviously we've not mentioned it, but in the last 24 hours we've been strongly linked with a right back for Canada now. Well, he doesn't play with Canada, he plays with Montreal, but he's Canadian. He played last night against Belgium and actually put up a good show. And obviously that's what we're led to believe is a potential replacement for JJ. Obviously his agent was a wee bit naughty there as the World Cup was coming to the fore, and I think he's spread a couple of rumours that he shouldn't have, but they got everybody talking anyway, especially for your end. But we'll wait and see what happens, Ryan. As I say, I'm really happy with, as Sean says, I know we've just announced a signing, and advent calendars haven't even been opened yet, mate. Know what I mean? So it just shows you where we are now. It's frightening.
Aye, we are announcing signings, mate, and teams having to get managers. So that's why we're working at the moment. On the boy for Japan, Sean, being honest with you, I don't know much about him, so I can't really comment, but I just, to what I've seen, I've heard he's really good. Ange has worked with him before, so obviously Ange knows him. And it's actually weird, mate, that we're actually talking about guys in that type of market for the other side of the world, and we're kind of thinking that that's your market now. For years, you wouldn't think you'd even think about signing players for that country, because it's Japanese players, South American, etc. For me, you're thinking it's a gamble where they settle here, because guys South America, guys like Efren Juarez, never really settled, didn't really do well. Guys who come from the country very rarely do well here. I know Nakamura done well, but Mizuno didn't really do much here. So you're always sceptical at guys coming here. But now, Sean, whatever the manager decides today, you just trust him because he's not got one signing wrong. Maybe you can say he's a Gucci, but he's been injured. He's not really had a chance, but he's maybe the only one you can say that's not really done much yet. Guys might say McCarthy, but for me, McCarthy's just been unlucky that guys in front of him have been really good, because I do think McCarthy's decent. So in terms of a squad player, he's definitely a squad player for you, but we've heard murmurs that he might be away in January. We don't know about that. But in terms of the recruitment, Sean, you just need to trust the manager if it's for South America, Japan, England, whatever it is.
Previous managers we've had, Lennon, even Rodgers, Dylan and stuff, they're bringing some players in, you're like, you do the usual bit of scouting, YouTube, you look up a couple of stuff and you're like, what did we signed this guy for? Sort of thing. But now under Ange, you're absolutely loving who he's bringing in, so...
Aye, no, but I think JP, Sean's right. Whoever we sign, you've got to trust the manager, and you're thinking, right, for Japan, right, cool, we've done that market before, we can trust them.
I wasn't meaning that side of the market, Ryan, when I was laughing there. Also, I was laughing at just a flood of memories just came rushing into my head there just at one time, and Sean started talking about managers that we've had and signings that have been made in the past. Just comparing it to now's totally
it's night and day, isn't it? It's...
You look at Mubarak Wakaso and guys like Bergets and
Cheeseburger.
Cheese and hamburger.
When you were talking about players for that side of the world, I had pure flashbacks about Dewey.
There's another one.
Aye.
You know, there's another one. I've seen milk turn quick on that guy, man. That was scary. We get beat that day with Clyde. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he was at fault, but it was Roy Keane's debut, I know, wasn't it?
Nah. That's obviously the guy Johnson as well, from Montreal. We've just seen that for yesterday. It's coming hand in hand at the World Cups on telly. I think JP loves his. It's a cold beans card.
Do you know I've not even got one this year so far? Well,
no, it's cold beans. And at JP, you're getting a cold beans calendar.
No, Frank eats cold beans. He's told us that before. Apparently, sits at Christmas in a cupboard with Hugh Keevins, and he just sits and munches his way through a ton of hinds. They talk about the years past and all that. I think they do the same at the New Year as well, Rachel.
That's cute, isn't it, man? That's cute. But I wouldn't.
This year they've got candles as well because it's -9. They need to heat themselves up somehow.
On the right back, JP, again, I don't know much about him. I seen him yesterday playing against Belgium. Thought he looked very decent, very quick. Something we've been speaking about for months and probably years in general about how we're too nice. He's got a bad dig about him. I don't think he's going to be too nice. And I think maybe that's what the guys were rumoured to be hearing. A bit of dig into the signings. They're obviously centre back. He's for Japan, so I've heard he likes a bit of dig as well. I don't know if that's true. I don't know much about him, but all things positive on they two if the right back is the one that gets over the line.
Aye, definitely. Well, obviously, I'd never heard of him until last night, and then this rumour appeared from absolutely nowhere that they're allegedly close to signing the boy. Again, I was totally stunned. No, he put up a good show last night. He took the ball off Hazard at one of the points and ran away from him, and I was kind of really impressed with that. I know Hazard looks like he's, I don't want to say half a guy he used to be because he's already tiny, but that's a bit, I don't want to stick a boot in too much to him. He's already highly challenged there, so but he's kind of he's not showed anything close to what he was at Chelsea for quite some time. I think that's fair to say. But still, he also done the same to De Bruyne. He took a ball off him a couple of times last night and just accelerated it. And that's what I picked up on straight away, his acceleration. He got booked for, it was a bit naughty, but he showed a good bit of physical presence as well, I thought. I know he got a booking, but it was one of the ones that you had to take for the team. He actually done last night what Callum McGregor stood on in Leipzig. That should have been a challenge that McGregor put in Leipzig. I know Callum ended up injured off the back of that, which was a shame, but if you knew you were going to be injured and you knew you were going to have to part, you'd try and fling everything at that challenge. But it was just one of the moments. But that's kind of similar to what I was thinking at that actual moment. And then he got booked last night for the same thing. But as I say, no, I thought he stood out. He was one of their standouts last night. He's very, very comfortable with the ball as well. He took the ball under pressure, which I thought was really good. And it looks like he can play inverted or not because he was coming inside the pitch quite a lot as well. So I actually thought Canada was really, basically, the Canada's the World Cup version of Celtic. Played some great football and just kind of scored goals. And that's what we were like in that in the Champions League just past. So, no, as I say, Ryan, but as I say, it's the first kind of showing of the boy, and I'd never heard of him until this recent link. So, and obviously never heard of him until last night. And even if he wasn't linked to us, watching the game last night, he would have still stood out regardless because I thought he did very, very well.
No, I agree. I don't know what you think, Sean, but he did look very decent. Again, I don't want to judge anybody off first glance, but you know yourself, you've played football, you've watched football long enough. You can normally tell within a few minutes by a guy's first touch or the way he moves, the way he's you can always tell a guy's got something about him, and it does seem that he's got something about him.
I only seen bits of the game last night, but the one bit I did look up and pay attention at, he bombed forward and hit a shot for the edge of the box. And as soon as the ball leaves his foot, he's already jogging backwards, getting ready to get himself back into position. And for what I've been reading about him, he plays mainly as a right wing back at club level, whereas he was maybe a right back last night. So we're not going to see exactly what he can do when he's playing with Canada during this World Cup, because it's slightly more defensive. But even at that, bombing forward last night, the JP touched on the foul that he had to give away into the yellow cards because he's bombing forward and then he's jogging back, and again it's a challenge he had to make. So can't judge him too much, I would say, when we're going to see the next couple of games, because it's no, probably it won't be where we use him either, because we don't just have a flat back forward, you stay there sort of thing. But for what I've seen, looks very good. And
I thought he kind of looked as if he played right side of a back three last night at the beginning, Sean.
Aye.
They sort of played him. What was the other big boy? The Alphonso Davies. He sort of played on the left hand side there, and then the other big boy through the middle. To be fair with you, Frank, I'm actually not surprised. No doubt you'll be able to share that with you. And I'm sure the two of you can. What you should do is leave it a week, and then that way you two you can open a day each.
extra cold beans.
Aye.
I'd a wee bit also with that annoying you be sorted, man.
Aye. Even I'll try and get Oxo to come and even do an opening ceremony for you if you want as well. I'll see if he's available.
Obviously as well, JP, you spoke about but we've obviously spoke about the last few weeks as well. The lack of maybe being clinical in Europe to take it to the next level. It's been quite a question the last few weeks on Twitter and social media and probably every Celtic fans group chats about Kyogo, Jack and Marcus. Are they good enough to step up? Are they this, are they that, etc. It's a first year in the Champions League. You've got to give them the benefit of the doubt because of what you've seen in the league. Aye, they've missed chances, but they are scoring goals just about every week they're playing. Aye, they're missing chances. I did say to you, JP, it is frustrating, but I'd rather they get in there to make the chances miss than nobody at all.
Yeah.
And eventually it will click. I'm still thinking they will 2-3 a game again because eventually that's what it's going to be. You can only miss so many chances before either it does really hit or the manager just go, listen, it's time to take a seat on the bench. But the way Kyogo plays, JP, for me, I don't see him as an out-and-out striker. I know that sounds daft. His position is better being up front, but you're better letting him just do what he wants and like to play because if he guys behind him that can go forward, i.e. your Abadas and Jotas, etc., O'Reilly, who are playing there. So, don't know what you think on it, JP, but for me personally, I know we spent £9 million on Edward, but for me, Edward was... Rodgers bought him as a young player to come in and hopefully potentially be good, and he's seen his talent, and that goal at Ibrox ever since then it set him away, and that was him. He was basically Celtic's number one striker as it turned out to be. Can I see us spending that money under Ange the way our model is at the moment? I can't see it, but I love it to happen. Fucking tour it. I'd love us to go and spend £10 million on a top draw striker, but £10 million might not get you top drawer anymore because the market's now is, Sean, you know, mate, the market's fucked. You're getting guys for 40-50 million who are, again, I've not played at that level, so I'm not going to be disrespectful, but in terms of the level, they're kind of average strikers for that price. You're getting guys for £100 million. Like Haaland, what an absolute machine. I know, was he 60 million or something, roughly, about that? Something like that. And that's what Man City's got. And then some guys are spending 40-50 million. I think was it a German team paid the guy for Ajax, Maren? Was it Maren? Was it Ajax he played with? Or PSG?
No, I think you're thinking the big Borussia Dortmund have took Sebastian Haller.
No, him as well. Obviously, he went for West Ham.
Daniel Malen played with, I think it was it PSV?
Right,
PSV.
So he's went for that, right, for a lot of money.
And that was, by the way, that was the same season. Giakoumakis finished the top scorer on every deal.
So it just shows you that paying all this money doesn't guarantee success. It doesn't always guarantee, but in a way, you kind of do what you get. You pay for what you get in certain players. For me, JP, I'd love us to go out and spend £10-15 million on a fantastic striker to get you the goals, because eventually, if you do sign a top forward, you will get that money back in merchandise, etc., depending where you get them from, if it's abroad, etc. But can we really spend £10 million on a player to then give him? I know some fans might say you might not need to pay him 50 a week, you might get him to it. Aye, that's true, but players these are going to want money. They're going to know that we're probably going to win the league, maybe. We're going to be guaranteed another year in Europe. They're going to want top dollar to leave a club maybe that's decent to come down to us. That's the way I see it. It could depend on wages, JP, but are we really going to pay £10 million for a player and give him maybe 40 grand a week wages. I don't know. I don't know if we'll do that, because if you do that, then you might need to sell a player to balance the books. I know people might go, "Oh, balance the books." That's an old saying, but you have got to balance the books. You can't just spend money and no recoup at some capacity. We can't go and spend £25 million a year and no bring in £20 million a year if it's through player sales or strips or season books. So I do believe, JP, we kind of do need somebody to help you too.
Yes.
And no somebody just to come in and be a backup, somebody to come in and actually either take care of them or challenge them, because at any club, I believe you need at least 3 really, really, really good strikers and maybe a 4th one. It can still do well, but he's not as good as maybe referee. We probably only get 2 of them now. My header for me don't see him as a striker. I just see him as a guy it's not been disrespectful, but he floats about, does his job, he presses high. He's an interlink between midfield.
Because he's murder Polish, so he does. You seen that yesterday with Japan?
He's got an absolute engine. He's high pressing, amazing. But in terms of, I know we're saying that's quality going off front, but then he scores that goal against Muller, and you're thinking, fuck me, that's quality. So it's just frustrating in that sense. But don't know what you think, JP, but I do think if you get another top door striker, you're definitely going to get much better in terms of being clinical in Europe, because that was the killer heel in Europe this year. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I think I did say it in a couple of podcasts ago. I do think they do need a hand. In terms of Kyogo, I've no doubts in my mind the wee man's maybe just going through a spell now where maybe it's because he's kind of been in and out of the team. He's not really had like that run of games where it's just been him, or Giacomakis hasn't had that run of games where it's just been him. They're kind of being rotated at the moment, and like I said to you before, Ryan, that's something that us as fans are going to have to get used to, especially the way Ange is building the squad. He's building the squad to attack all fronts. So to do that, you need, obviously, you need to have a bulky squad ready to go. How do you keep them all happy? By rotating and giving them all games. And you've got a manager there who, even if some of them weren't playing, I don't think they would bat an eyelid, because they know deep down they're going to get a chance eventually. Whether it be an injury or whether it be a suspension or whether it be something crops up, they'll get a chance. I do think we need another striker to give him a hand. Not necessarily to say, used to haven't been good enough, blah, 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 he's out of the team. That's not what I mean. Somebody to come in and give him a hand. In terms of spending all sorts of dough, Ryan, it doesn't cut it, mate. Edward was a big gamble. The good thing with Edward was we got him on loan first to see what he was like. So it was like a kind of try before you buy. He done well, and then we loosened the purse strings to go and get him at 9 million. 9 million was a steal for Edward, mate. You could see right away Edward was quality. There's guys out there similar. Obviously, there's got to be guys out there similar somewhere. I trust Ange wholeheartedly. I think a striker is probably one of the top parts of his list for this January transfer window. Wouldn't be too disappointed, because there will be signings brought in, so there'll be other positions Ange is looking at. I think he still wants another midfielder. I don't think he's too chuffed. I don't think, this is just my opinion, I personally don't think Big Abelgard's going to be there after this season. I think he's just taking a year out for Ruban Kazan to come and help us out, and then he'll go back there. I don't think he'll get kept long term. I don't even think there's a deal in place for him to be kept long term, put it that way. I'm now thinking the same with Jens. I think Jens, possibly now that this Kobayashi's signed, something's going to have to give there, I know, because you've got Welsh, you've got Liam Scales coming back for Aberdeen, and you've got Big Jens. They all can't stay. Somebody's going to have to go. But we need 4 centre-backs.
Aye, good centre-backs.
Me personally, going with just the way Ange is talking, out of the 3 that I've mentioned, I think, and I know it's not something that we would want to hear, because personally I don't think longer term he's, but I've said I've been rang with other players in the past. I've actually been rang with 2 current players that are in the squad as well. I think he'll keep Welsh. over Jens because I think he sees something in Welsh. The reason I'm saying that is because he's not back 3 or 4 bids for Welsh. Permanent signing bids for him to move elsewhere. So if Ange didn't want, if Ange thought Welsh maybe wasn't going to cut it himself, he would have sold him. Why else would you keep a guy? So I don't even think loaning him out will be an option because there was that on the table as well and he knocked that back as well. So I think, if anything, it might be Jens that doesn't get kept. Why I'm saying that? Kobayashi's a left-sided centre-back. Jens has been playing there for he's come in when Starfelt's been injured, but Starfelt's back fit now. So when he plays, that's where Starfelt plays. Because, let's face it, unless you sign fucking Van Dijk, you ain't replacing Cameron Carter-Vickers, you know. So he's a mainstay, and then it's whoever comes in to play with him. Obviously, I hope this boy Kobayashi can speak a bit of English. If not, it's going to be murder. Try to get Cameron Carter-Vickers and him to communicate with one another. Probably need to give one another. You probably need to give the two of them spirographs to draw diagrams for one another so they know what's happening. Or just do hand signals and make it look like something out of Michael Jackson's Thriller video. I don't know. That'd be good. That'd be quite. I think that'd be more entertaining than the football part, to be honest. But I think personally, we'll no need to worry about that because I think Ange will have all that already underway, probably, knowing how proactive he is. I mean, like I say, the advent calendar's only opened and we've signed a 5th Japanese player, so I wouldn't be surprised if in the coming weeks we start hearing the guys signing and what's happening with players moving out, etc. Blah blah blah.
Can we comment, Sean, for Egyptian King? About the psych about Dembele coming back, I would take my heartbeat. There's rumours about him coming.
What Dembele, Jack Karamoko or Musa?
Musa. Again, behind the lines, we've heard on Twitter and we've heard rumours maybe about, we've seen his Instagram post and all and stuff. For me, Sean, if he was somebody that we would go for, if fans would go and get him, then for me, I would take him in a heartbeat. But again, he's not somebody that you would begin £10 a week. You need to give him top dollar because he's coming for Leon in a free transfer. So it would obviously need to be a free contract on it. So unless you just pay whatever it is, you can get him in January. If it was, again, I personally can't see it unless it was maybe a last minute kind of thing. Right, we'll maybe get him this summer. I don't think it'd be January personally. If it happened, Sean, it'd be brilliant. For me, he's in terms of if Dembele was to come in, personally I can't see it. But if that was to happen, he would probably play in front of the two. But Ange loves Kyogo. So, but in terms of quality, the proven level, Champions League level, Dembele's got that in abundance. He's done it with us in the past. He knows the club. He knows everything about the club. He's still at a good age to come and we could actually get him his peak in a sense because he's still at that age where he could kind of still improve if it gets game time. Can I see it happening? It would for me. It would come out the blue because I just don't see that. I don't see us signing somebody again. Well, no better up front anyway. I don't see it happening.
You can make Mendes a phone and find it. I don't know if you know, Sean. We found out the other day that Ryan's in there with Mendes and obviously Ronaldo. He knows about Ronaldo and Jota and he's found out the other day with Ryan. He's quite clued up there. So
I'll need to give Jota a phone, but he's probably watching his Portugal team the night. So I don't know. I might go on Iron Brew tonight, so I'm going to give him a wee phone tomorrow.
Sitting there a wee can of beans.
Cold beans.
Can I put my wee message and tell him I was asking for him?
I think if somebody like Dembele, that type of ilk, I would say that's probably Sean the type of experience we need. Somebody that's got experience, he's proven, he's got a bit about him, he's muscly, he's strong. It would definitely days in Europe 100% for me. If we can give him a pre-contract, it's a heartbeat, like the Egyptian King says. I would definitely take him back. Can I see that happening? Personally, no. I can't see us going on a pre-contract route. Personally, I think for me, it's all to do with players buying. Unless you get an absolute top-notch deal to sign him a pre-deal, I just can't see it because you need to give him a Bosman fee, you need to give him well wages because he's a free transfer. So I just can't see it, Sean. But in an ideal world, it would be ideal because we do need, in my opinion, to take us to the next level. Somebody help you two up front.
I agree. If we get the big man on a free and his wages demands weren't too high, it's a no-brainer because we know how quality is. He's so good. Proved that when he went away to Atletico Madrid as well, won the league with him. So he's proved that. But I can personally see if we're going to bring in our striker, if we were getting offered him or somebody we've been watching in the background that we've, like us three and other fans haven't really heard of, I think we'll go for our option. I wouldn't say he's going back for him. I think the scouting department will probably be on our striker, present Ange with the options and say, look, this is a guy who sort of fits the mould of what you're looking for European-wise, as you were saying. Can stick the ball away in the net, sort of thing. I think we will bring somebody else in. I would love Dembele. One, mainly for the patter. It'd be absolutely brilliant to have a big man back for that. But I can't see it. I would love it, but I could not, even if it was a free deal, reduce wages, I just can't see it. I think, to me, the way Celtic moving forward the way we're moving forward now, there's no, but he used to play for us, he's a Celtic man, he's still a Celtic fan, all that, let's just bring him back. I don't see that being us anymore. We've done that in the past, and it's not always worked out the best, so... But
I don't see that happening either, Sean. I don't see him going to Costco like Kyogo and Takamakis does to get big Ange's sausage, egg and bacon for Sundays, that, mate. I don't see that happening, man. I just for some reason, and obviously Giakoumakis has started chipping in now with cutting the big man's grass now, so I just don't see. And Kyogo's apparently just bought him a new lawnmower to stay in his thoughts for a game at the weekend, so he's. I don't see Big Dembele doing that somehow.
I thought we were talking about cutting your grass in the Sav on a Sunday night.
No, that's you and Mendes.
Cutting some shapes with a venom.
That's you and Mendes with a smooth comb over and your sunglasses.
Mate, I need to get a hair transplant to keep up with these guys, man.
Aye.
No, but I agree with you.
How you get the bins out, mate, innit?
Mate, I need to take the bins out all the time, mate. That's my joke now. But no, I agree with you. I don't think that's... Again, if that was something the club was going to do, fantastic. The fans, in my opinion, if you want to take them back, then what else would you want to take us to the next level? That's the sort of guy, in my opinion, that we need. If we could get somebody for a few million... fresher, no fresher. I mean, maybe somebody we don't know about, somebody to come in with that kind of experience and that impact, then brilliant.
When I like to play his football, by the way, he's not eating cold beans anyway, that's for sure.
No, he's not eating cold beans, is it, hell?
Definitely not, man.
That's beans and toast he's having, not just cold beans. But I do believe that, I think...
Scrambled egg, love it, on top of that.
I think Sean's right, JP, that... I don't think that's the way we'll go about business. I don't think that's the way Ange is going to go. I know guys like Joe Hart was already on Celtic's list, but obviously Joe Hart spoke to him first and decided, I want you in. Could be the same with Dembele. Me personally, can I see it happening? No, but would I love it? Aye. But I do feel, JP, that we definitely need to, maybe no January, but definitely this summer, I think. I don't want to say a top forward because we have got top forwards, in my opinion, for Special Scotland. But somebody with a bit more experience, and I don't want to say belief, just a bit more European know-how to take us to that level, because it's clear as day that in the Champions League sense, we definitely are missing that, because that was, we all know, defensively we were all right, we weren't fucking fantastic, we still conceded goals, silly goals, but going forward, if you score the chances, you won't really need to worry about the defence, because you're going to score at least 2 or 3, and it gives your defence a bit of know-how. Listen, they're going to score goals. If we keep it a wee bit shut here at the back, we'll get a result, because it's a killer heel, wasn't it, all through the group stages?
Hang on, Ryan, I know, but it wasn't just the strikers that missed chances. But don't get me wrong, Giakoumakis scored in Champions League enough for us. But the wingers had a great lot of chances as well. Abada had a few... Let him sign Morelos and get him to clean the bags. The Bogs, all right. Say that, we might need to sign somebody quickly. Did you see the photo of Big Jack and Marcus today? I don't think we're getting him out of that swimming pool anytime soon, man. Big man looked
Big
as
man's
if he was
loving
stuck
life,
here, man. He was loving it, man, sitting there with his vape.
Aye.
I don't think he's getting out of that pool anytime soon, man. That battle's probably about fucking
-9.
Can't see it being a plunge pool right now. I don't see it being, somehow I don't see it being -9 on the internet. The big man is sweating, by the way. Even his sunglasses, he's had water dripping for it. So, no, as I say, I don't. So we might need a striker pronto, especially if something happens to Kyogo, because Big Jack and Marcus is stuck in that pool. That looked amazing, didn't it? Wherever that was, because it looked like one of the pools that the water just drips there and soaks everybody in the street below the building.
How the other half live, mate?
That's it, mate. Well, that's it, of course, aye. You
Don't get that.
Because Mendes has got you into a good couple of places, but now,
Yeah, by the way, you don't get that in fucking post, I'll tell you that.
No. Is that what it takes you, man? Well, you need to get
Aye.
him on. See you next time, you need to get him on FaceTime. I'll have a word with him for you. Because we can't have you going to Porto, mate. That's terrible.
JP, you know he's going to recreate that photo tomorrow.
What's
Up
that?
at Easterhouse swimming.
Aye.
Sitting in Easterhouse swimming with his wee rubber ring on him.
Aye. Sitting me his rubber ring in a packet of a wee tin of cold beans. Aye. And he's, what do you call it? He's the wee chocolate packet of fags.
Candy sticks.
You just picture him sitting down at the bottom of a wings swim. Sitting in a time capsule like that. Yes, here we go.
But another thing as well, JP, I think as well, signing guys like that, Dembele, or even guys like that. Another part of what obviously we're going to talk about in the news, obviously, what we spoke about in previous pods, and we've not really spoke about it a lot, but now we've got a bit of time, but obviously we need Celtic to talk about it, but try to make our game a bit better, JP, in terms of advertisement, just in general, advertising the game better, because I know, I'm sure it was Barry Hearn years ago, I'm sure he tried it, or he spoke about it, the radio and stuff like that, and I think he went to
That's right, he got shot down, didn't he?
Aye, and he basically says, listen, you do not advertise your game anywhere near as you should. He says, for me, JP, it should be on, obviously, Celtic and Rangers, maybe not Rangers, but Celtic and Rangers should have a bit all the money to go and advertise more. I know Celtic, sometimes they own Clyde Mart for the season tickets and new strips, but why not put on advertisement? Celtic, Aberdeen, get your tickets. I know they've done it in the past, but every day, get it in billboards. I know it's easy for us because Celtic, we all know when Celtic play. Most people in Scotland know when Celtic play because it's Celtic and Rangers, the two biggest clubs. That's easier than said and done. For the other clubs, because they're not as big and they've not got all the outlets to date on. Like Celtic Rangers have probably got like 2 million followers between them on Twitter. That's a big to put out there. A Bro, Free, Stirling, etc. I know that only they've not got as much outlay to put out there. But for me, JP, there must be better ways. We've all spoken about it, like how you can do it. If it's like, even when you actually go to a game, give a wee, like if it's a wee boy or a girl, give them like a free pie or a free juice or whatever, free programme. Because if you get a free programme, that guy go, well, that means I can get a pint or I can do this. It's small things, I think, JP, that would entice people to go in to games. Because listen, Celtic sell out, right? Aye, they say they sell out. There's still 3,000 or 4,000 sitting there. Same as Partick Thistle. When was the last time they had 9,000, 10,000 in a run? Line empty. Firehall's a good big run as well. It's a local club. You try to think of things how to get it better, JP, and there's wee things surely that I know I mean would do better. Sean's the same, you're the same. There's loads of things you could get teams better tendencies, better step sales, just better knowledge of the club, because like Celtic being Motherwell at third part, right? I don't go to Motherwell, so I'm only thinking of myself for what I've seen and what I've heard, etc. I don't see that advertised on Twitter all the time. I don't see it advertised on social media anywhere. Don't see people talk about it on radios. I don't see it on billboards. I don't see it anywhere. Surely there must be a better thing to make your game stand out a bit better, because I don't feel the quality's that bad. It's not the Premier League, it's not La Liga, but there's some very good players, not just at Celtic, Rangers, on Aberdeen and everywhere else, but I don't think they get the recognition because it's not getting advertised enough.
When you look at the Australia team that are at the World Cup, at least 5 or 6 of them are playing the SPL. Right away.
A Hearts right back, Martin Mbappe, for 90 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. You get Dundee United left back trying to catch Dembele.
Aye.
I think he's still running the now, looking for him. The boy Rolls, you're better with Martin's Rolls. My God, man. What's he doing for Giroud's second goal?
I know.
The boy, is it Atkinson? The right back.
Mm-hmm.
He keeps the ball away for Big Giroud's first goal. But in terms of advertising, I don't know, but realistically, mate, we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. An SPFL TV channel itself would probably be a massive help, instead of all us having to go to Ransos for dodgy boxes and for action, you know what I mean? It's
don't know what you're talking about, mate.
I'm not part of that either.
No. Go back to that. I'll dig up the footage and send it to you, mate. Honestly, Big Jason was my witness that night.
Uncle James, get it out.
The only guy I know he's got wires hanging out his window.
It's Cranton Hill, Beverly Hills.
Aye. Neighbours walking back in the house going, where'd you get the ball, boys, Wembley? Place is lit up like Blackpool Pleasure Beach, man.
No.
But no, in terms of, I don't know what we could look at. Maybe we could.
One thing that I've quite liked this season, Hibs, Aberdeen, Dundee United have done it. They've moved a couple of their kick-off times to 3 o'clock on a Saturday to 6 o'clock on a Saturday. The attendances are doing up. Friday night football, they're moving their own fixtures to Friday night, Saturday nights, try to change it up a bit, and the figures are doing up. So they're at least trying something a bit different. It's working so far, they're getting people through the door.
I think obviously the Scottish Premier League, Sean, I think that will work, especially if like teams are in Europe, etc. So it's more to do with the actual advertisement itself. It's kind of, I don't know where we go there. I don't know. It's a hard one, isn't it? Because you're right, Ryan. In a sense, I don't think there's enough belief in Marine actual product. Even Hampden. I mean, like you could advertise something at Hampden and have it fucking running across a big display board somewhere, or like for traffic going up Aikenhead Road, or do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Even at the stadiums, I don't even know if you could. But not everybody's at the stadiums every day. But even like in subway stations, bus stations, places that people in human like public traffic are going to be all the time. Airports, they're another one. Airports, so you could do another one. Do you know what I mean? That people are going to see all the time. But no, there isn't. When you go abroad, you buy every pub and they've got it on a chalkboard. There's more advertisement abroad than what there is here.
Aye.
Even the pubs here don't even advertise what they're showing. A lot of them will just. But as you said, Ryan, we're kind of born into it that way that we know when Celtic are playing, so we know where to go to watch them. We know that we're coming to your house to watch it on your box. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, we already know that's granted. That's a given, mate. You know what I mean? That's the gospel truth. That's a sworn declaration there. But no, as I say, there isn't enough. I don't know how you would combat that. I really don't. But we shouldn't be sitting here doing that. You know, the officials for the league should be sitting doing that. They should be the ones that are doing it.
But that's the thing. They won't. But they've got. I know these smaller teams, like the JP says, Sean, they might not have that. We've got outlet today. They might not have the outlet as much to put everything round everywhere because they might not get it all back. I totally understand that, Sean. But see, like outside Motherwell or Bro, Thistle, Stenhouse, Whale, whatever, surely all running about that area, flyers, posters, everywhere, surely. Then, like JP says, when you're driving past, people also with traffic lights, people walking the pavements, you're going to see it. Oh, I'm off this weekend, I'm going to a game. And just say it's 10 hours more, right? Just say it's, I don't know, just say it's 12 quid, right? I don't know if that's happened before, so if anybody who's a fans of this, some of these teams, let me know if this is the case. But an adult goes in and maybe the kid gets in for nothing and the kid gets a fruit shoot or a programme or something, I don't know. But just wee things like that, I think would entice people, because I've not got any kids, but see if I did and I've got a weekend off, all right, female or male, whoever it is, all right, one Celtic game or a Broford game, you get a fruit shoot programme, I'm going, basically for nothing. So he's maybe thinking, right, that means I can maybe pay something myself, but they're getting for nothing. So for me, it would help. I don't know what you feel, Sean, but small things will go a long way. I know smaller teams, well, when I was at Thistle years ago, we get free tickets to the games. Obviously, they used to get free tickets, and like school kids and stuff like that get free tickets because it's obviously to bump up the crowd and a bit of advertisement. But I don't think it's advertised enough. Like, that's just me, Sean. I'm trying to be a neutral fan here and taking my Celtic specs just talk to follow Scottish football. I just don't see. There must be other ways where they can sit down at a table and go, right, we'll do this and improve our game. I know it's money, but you try to tell me the SFA haven't got a bit of money to invest to help the game, because if you invest longer term, it will eventually pull off, because you can only do so much with foot investment. I don't see how you can't go forward if you don't put in anything in it, Sean.
Hopefully the main selling point isn't just fruit shoots, but you know what I mean?
It's no orange ones.
Especially if the game's a Friday night, you know what I mean?
It's no orange ones.
You're getting a fruit shoot.
It's black top mans, but no orange.
It's a Friday night, you know what I mean? It's want me on a fruit shoot, mate.
I can't sit and say, Barry, listen, I'll get a free bottle of Bucky hen and we'll get in for nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Remember it's -9 here. You're trying to sell fruit shoots to people on the outside.
Well, listen, we'll keep your fruit shoots and room temps then, right? Sorry for the rains then.
We'll stick them next to the halogen heaters, pal, before you come in.
Bye, but I don't know what you think, Sean, but again, I know JP's right. It's no our place to really say, but for me as a fan, I think it's good to talk about ways we could do it. I don't think it's spoken about enough in any platform, if it's podcasts or social media, etc. I don't see it advertised enough. I don't see people talk about it enough, and I think the more people talk about it, it at least puts it out there for people to actually debate about.
Perfect examples right now. The Premiership's changed to a stop for a couple of weeks. Championship, League 1, League 2 are still playing. I didn't know that until I popped up my phone, checking scores one day.
Mm-hmm.
So, say you've got Partick Thistle versus who's top of the Championship? Ayr. Partick Thistle, Ayr, Saturday afternoon, £10 a ticket. See if that was advertising the radio, and I'm not doing it on Saturday, you're like, I might jump onto that, be a good game of football, I don't see. I'm missing Celtic point, I'll jump onto that. But it took for me to go and check something else on my phone to go, oh aye, the full Championship's still playing while we're stopped. There was nothing at all. Mm-hmm. That would have been a peak opportunity, whether it be on the radio, newspapers, advertising boards, anything at all to say, by the way, we're playing this Saturday at home within the local area, Partick Thistle, Glasgow, like teams like that sort of thing. That was a perfect chance for them to push themselves out there. There was a guy on the phone in last week, and he went to the Queen's Park game last Saturday, and he's a Celtic fan. And he's like, oh, it's because my mates are Queen's Park fans, and they were telling me, oh, we're still playing, and there's plenty of tickets. That's how he found it. He's heard for their fans to say, do you want to come with us, and she's not doing anything. If that had been advertised out across Scotland, how many more people that were sitting about last Saturday, because the World Cup hadn't started yet, would have went, do you know what, I'm going to go to that. Because let's be honest, the Championship's pretty decent again this year. So good games of football.
I just want to say, for all the ardent football fans that are listening in, these two are quite alone in that. The fact that they didn't know the Championship and the League One and that were still playing, because I knew that myself.
I asked you your tips, guy.
I'm a regular attender at these things when Celtic don't play. I just like
on the dodgy box fixture list.
I keep my football knowledge in tip top shape, I'm afraid.
It was that Pars TV you watched, the dodgy box, wasn't it?
Don't know what you're talking about, mate.
Can we comment through YouTube here, guys?
Last dodgy box I watched was in your house, mate.
James Robertson, all right, James. Full house every game would help smaller teams. Will not sell tickets to full stadiums, and TV don't show enough football, Scottish football. Aye, James, you're right, personally. I agree with what you're saying, mate. I know what you're saying. But just wee things, I totally agree with James says, JP, that smaller teams don't fill out their grounds because, again, they've no maybe got the fans that the top league have, i.e. Celtic, Rangers, even Hearts, Hibs, etc. But wee small things to maybe try and get people in. If it is younger kids at maybe 6, 7, when I'm just about able to get to stadiums, and maybe obviously the noise and everything else, and obviously something swearing that happens, that they could be able to get to a game. I think the earlier they get to a game, JP, I feel they might like it. Because you know yourself, as soon as you walk, I know Celtic Park's totally different for smaller grounds, but as soon as you walk into Celtic Park, even me, I'm 29 and I'm like that. Brilliant. What have you? As soon as you walk up the stairs to your seat, you're like, wow, brilliant. And then you go to your seat. Aye, it's brilliant. Every Saturday you go there, or whatever it is, midweek, it's always good to go to your seat and you look at the stadium. So imagine a wee boy or a wee lass. Again, I've no kids, so I couldn't tell you how good it would feel to see your son or daughter seeing that. But I think JP would be good for them to start doing that earlier. If they could help out, if it is win for nothing, or a free programme, or a free meal beforehand, or just whatever it is to help them. Because I do feel as well, what we spoke about, that's when the SPFL TV might help. They might not be at the ground, but they're still paying money into the club, so they're still going to get some benefit into the club. So I don't know if anybody who's watching at the moment from the live stream can remember me and JP talking about it in the past, but the SPFL TV, JP, I think eventually we could do another podcast on it, because it's definitely something with me, in my opinion, that I'm not the best when it comes to finance and maths, but surely it can be hard to get maybe 1 or 2 cameras at a grunt to actually show your fans the coverage instead of maybe having to go to the game. Because you can be disabled, you can be no well, you can nobody get to the game due to work, you can maybe watch it on your phone. But if you're still paying a contribution to your club, you might still get something, JP, out. It might not be at the grunt, but at least you're still getting some sort of advertising from it.
I'm just looking at last comment there, Ryan. I can agree with that, John. Especially if it's fruit shoots, mate. They're not exactly cheap anyway. But Ryan's obviously won the lottery there, and he's used that as a big selling point there. He must have sold his dodgy box and he's invested in this now. So, aye, as I say, he's doing well. Mendes has given him a wee pay rise as well, I think. So he's now up. He's now, and by the way, he's promoted 6 and 7 year olds got the football ourselves now as well. So that's a great thing.
Obviously not yourself, you madman. Obviously not yourself, man.
He's get free. You'll be getting out free bus passes.
I meant old enough to go with your mum or
he's like a used car salesman, man. I think he's not done sports socks tonight, man.
Get your sports socks, 2 for a pound, 2 for a pound. Get your sports socks.
This models get this is bulletproof, bomb-proof, the lot.
Aye. But obviously, for that comment as well, Joy, can today to JP, Sean, also with the cost of living crisis, councils opening up warm spaces, can teams not open up their stadiums and match days? That's a good shout as well.
That is a good shout. Especially smaller clubs, like say there's a game tonight. So Open Goal, we're playing the next round of the Scottish Cup tonight against Alaba.
Tomorrow.
Is it not the night?
No, this is Thursday. Tomorrow.
Right. So false advertising with JP. Sorry about that, folks. Open Goal are playing tomorrow.
Too many fruit shoots a day.
Too many fruit shoots a day, mate. Aye. Filled my bottle with electricity before Ryan gave it all away for nothing. What was I saying? I've lost my place now in the fruit shoot. No, it's tomorrow. So they're charging £12 a ticket for a game tomorrow against Alaba. So why not let kids in free? Or, get Mary an incentive for that. It's, you might get a bigger turnout, you might know. It's a chance you take. But I think if you start using your noodle and start thinking about the family side of things, make it a bit more, give a bit more incentive into try to draw people out of the house, especially coming into this. I mean, we're getting into winter now, so it's -9 now. It's only probably going to get worse as we go. So, as I say, it's funny hats and coats, and so scarves, and then obviously you've got the guys outside trying to sell you scarves as well, and they're not exactly cheap with them either. You know what I mean? They're wanting tenors and above tenors, and
JP, you've just gave him an idea to make more money.
What?
If sports socks don't go well, you'll be doing selling the scarf next.
No, well that's it. He's there you go. Know what I mean? Furry gloves and I don't know. Well, not him, it'd be handcuffs or something like that. Know what I mean? Or something.
Handcuffs, my dodgy box. That sounds ideal.
Something, aye. And powerless HDMI cables.
That's the only thing that's powerless, by the way.
Square batteries, 2 licks for a fiver.
Fucking treble A batteries.
Aye. Stick them in the back of your bunny and watch you bounce along London Road.
Wait, time's it? Unfortunately, don't pass 9 yet. But I don't know what you feel about John says, Sean, about obviously cost of living crisis, people in the stadiums and match days, maybe before a game, I don't know. And obviously, like JP says, for a mission, I think 12 quid's a wee bit steep for a Lowland team, to be honest with you. I know it's a Scottish Cup game, that's maybe why against Iowa, but again, Sean, that's not up to me, that's obviously their pricing wise, but I've got to make some money somehow. But I think John's right, JP's right as well. You could give somebody either a pre-programme with free entry, with somebody maybe one in pay and one free, something like that. It could help.
Just touching back on the thing JP said, 12 quid a ticket for that open goal Iowa game tomorrow night. Now, say their attendance tomorrow night is 100 people, right? 100 people paid 12 quid. What if the ticket was 6 quid and 200 people went because the ticket's a bit cheaper? Still the same money coming in. There's more money getting spent at concession stands, nor that, food, nor this. 12 quid a ticket for that game, I think that's absolutely shocking. It's not as if the place is sold out every week. So,
but it's not just that,
Sean.
Sean.
Needs to be the ticket prices, I think.
Bear in mind as well, Sean, come on, no, you need to travel there.
Aye. Is it Broadwood, isn't it?
It's not local. It's not local.
Either. So,
I mean,
no, Broadwood's not exactly. It's not in a built-up residential area, is it? It's the middle of nowhere.
Aye. A start needs to be the ticket prices, I think.
I think that's
100 people turn up at 12 quid a ticket or 6 quid a ticket might entice another 100 people to come. Same money coming into the club, and you're slowly but surely drawing a fan base there. So,
is it only because they've drew a team? What is it, two leagues above them or something?
See, I don't know the prices in general. I've not been. I do want to go.
What are all League One?
League One, aye. League One, aye. So
they're 2 up for the Highland League, aren't they?
2 up for the Lowland League, so it's a Lowland League, aye. 2 up, aye.
Lowland, Highland, League 2, and then is it League 1?
No, if you be relegated for League 2, you go to...
I'm maybe showing my ignorance here, because my team have never dropped that low before, so I've never...
No,
we don't. Maybe we could ask somebody for the other side of the water, they would know better, because obviously they were used to that not that long ago. It's
the SPFL, League 1, Championship, League 1, League 2, then it's the whole league, and the Highland League's there as well, so right, I think if you finish... I don't know if you finish... If you finish first or second... I think it might be first, Sean. I think you might know better. You're more factual than me. I think if you win the Lowland League, you play the winner of the Highland League, and then the winner of that plays the League 2 to go up. The bottom of League 2 to go up on it. Sean, is that right?
I don't even know how that works anymore.
No, I don't know either.
I think it is, because that's how Thingy last season went up, wasn't it?
Bonnie Rick Rose, wasn't it?
Who?
Bonnie Riggs Rose went up, didn't he?
Aye, that's right. Aye. Bonnie Big Rose.
Aye, so aye, that's right.
Because they beat Cowden Beef, didn't they?
Aye, that's right, aye.
And Cowden Beef dropped.
Aye, so you're right,
it goes to the promotion playoff.
Aye, so then
League
it goes from that league to that, and then that's how that works, because it's like they call it the pyramid system or something. They call it.
No, but I overall, I think Sean, you're right there. I think we'll just that if you do have it to say £6-7, it means you might buy something in the stadium as well, which is more money. So, but overall, Sean, your last word, mate, going forward with Celtic, and obviously any thoughts on the World Cup so far?
I've not been overly impressed with it so far, but to be fair, it's only one. Everybody's only played their first group game. It's still to kick into action a bit, but of course, Argentina go 36 games unbeaten, and the first game I put money on them, they get beat. That's all I'm going to say on that.
That sounds messy, mate.
5. You've been
Di Maria, man.
I was going to say you're going to make name out of that. But I was Celtic, Sean, obviously going forward. What's your last thoughts on that, mate?
Getting a new sign in before the Colbean and Ved calendars have been opened is brilliant. If we keep that up, then when we start back after the World Cup, couple of games, January window opens, another couple of players in. Really looking forward to it. You've said it plenty of times, Brian. You've said it to me within the group chat, on Twitter and everything. The only team that can stop Celtic this season is Celtic, so I'm absolutely buzzing for us to get back to playing. I'm
agreeing, JP, with Sean, I think, in terms of another few signings, and then you get into the game against Aberdeen. I think it's first game back, basically full strength, bit of positivity in the new signings that will give the players a bit of a lift as well. And I've said for the last few weeks now, again, I'm here to be shot at. So in a few months' time, if Rangers did come back and win the league, or Aberdeen, whoever it is, if it's somebody apart from us, then they can put this up and say, oh, he said this, he's full of shite. But in my opinion, I'm agreeing with Sean. I've said it for a long while now, JP. Don't look for it Celtic this year, especially as Celtic, because in my opinion, there's a golfing class. We've got the best manager in the league, best squad, best financial situation. Just can't see any other way, mate. But football's a strange thing, so you don't want to count your lucky stars now, but it does look very, very good going forward at the moment, mate.
Aye, absolutely, mate. Round and round we go. As I say, Ryan, we're 9 points in front, which means it's -9 in Glasgow. Freezing cold stuff. I can feel my bottom lip ready to start chittering just as I was saying that there, boys.
That's that cold beans, mate.
No, it's not, mate. No, it's sitting in this cold environment here. Especially with just a t-shirt on, it's no good for your health, you know. But
that's why I've got a jumper on, mate.
I know.
What size is it?
Extra small.
Extra small, did you say?
It's the smallest one I can get.
Maybe you could get him away outside the stadium, mate. Know what I mean? You can't get people in. Here's a free jumper, pal.
I'll put you under there. There you go.
A big team of Jimmy Cranky's come to get one off you.
I'm not that small, man. Come on.
People will like, there's Snow White and our team there will be in to see the game tonight. But no, as I say, moving forward, Ryan, I just, like I say, Steve, mate, I said it weeks and weeks ago, probably months ago, I said I want to see us win as many games as we can. And if we get beat with St Mirren, that's all we've done. We've just went on a run, and what I wanted is to do that. Obviously, it's been quite frustrating, and not in a bad way, just in a frustrating way that you're not scoring enough goals in the Champions League. It's not been defensive fucking tragedies that have let us down this time. But no, as I say, mate, everything's boding well for the club. We've got a man, everybody's in the right positions where they should be in the club. The club's been modernised now, and the way we're operating, and round and round we go. And like you're hearing the rap mob across the water. Black Friday, obviously the sales have started now, so we're hearing everybody that they've been linked with I wouldn't swap my dodgy blokes for any of them, to be honest with you, mate. And I wouldn't even, they probably wouldn't even get a fruit shoe out of me, to be honest with you, mate. That's how bad it is. But no, I'm no, nothing, it doesn't faze me whatsoever. Anything that, you know, which I think Ange has already dealt with. The biggest party, everybody laughing at him at the beginning anyway. So he overcame that massive hurdle, and now he's the one that's laughing at another manager being sacked before Christmas, which is absolutely hysterical in my opinion. Just the way it's all turned in. Just be careful what you wish for, that's all I say. Because Karma's got a way of really slapping you in the arse, and it's got to my belter this time. But no, as I say, moving forward for us, mate, signings are in the door, early doors, and here we go. We're on the way to hopefully getting the league wrapped up, and that's what I say to you as well, Ryan. I says, you know, once we come out the Champions League, I'd love to see us put our foot to the flare and try and win the league as quick as we can. Just win as many games, get it behind you, and let's do it. And let's see what else the rest of the season's got, because we're still in course for a domestic treble. We've got a semi to look forward to in January, so obviously after that, and we're up against a guy that's probably hiding under his covers and out the prospect of facing Celtic again, and he faced a Brendan Rodgers Celtic that he couldn't do any damage against. I think Ange Postecoglou's got a better side than Brendan Rodgers did, so I don't think he's going to be able to do any damage against him. Unless he puts something in the fruit shoots before they're dished out before the game, and players take a wee funny turn during the game, but I don't see that happening, mate. But no, it's been a pleasure again on the night, wee boys. Massive farewell. And as for the World Cup, it's kind of really cagey. It's everybody's no one to get beaten their first game, but it looks at it, and some of the games have been quite boring. I think the only one that's been entertaining is probably the France game in Spain, especially in attacking sense. I thought Canada played some nice football last night as well.
Yeah.
Out with that, I can't really see. Actually, because they've been on here, I don't know how Brazil have got on. So
2-0 they won.
They won 2-0. So that's the same result. They beat them last time, man. Okay, so there you go, 2-0.
I know, again, Sean, it's good to have you on again, mate. JP, good to see your two smiley faces. If anybody, please, likes the content, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps the channel, helps us get better guests, helps us get anybody we can on to make us a bit better.
Helps us get fruits in bulk.
Aye. Myself, Ryan, JP and Sean, we've all got Twitter. Give a wee follow as well on that. The Facebook page and Twitter as well. But most importantly, please subscribe to YouTube. It's free to do so. Hail, boys. Take care and enjoy the rest of the night.
Hail, lads. Cheers.
Take care, boys. Cheers.